about someone you admire, anyone, anywhere, chances are that they represent motivation, discipline, determination, inspiration, or at least some sort of genuinely admirable quality. Now, aren't these traits something that athletes encourage? We define sports as physical activity rooted from recreation and competition, but we leave its reach aside. Sports are essentially an expression of human determination to surpass the ordinary and reach the exceptional. Their very own nature transcends our body's physical limitations to shape opportunities for social development. Within this context, the fundamental question arises: how can something seemingly rooted in individual experience have such a profound impact on society? Well, imagine a world where everyone doesn't only resemble the person you admire, but is also mentally empowered, emotionally resilient, and socially adept. And what if I told you that this world isn't just a dream, but a possibility waiting to be realized through the transformative power of sports? I remember my first swim meet like it was yesterday. Yeah, I know, so cute. The anticipation consumed me. The crowd's eagerness was evident through the roar. I had swum for some time before, but never in front of so many people. My hands were shaking slightly, my heart pounding, as I stood on top of the starting block. And then, the whistle gave the signal to start the race. And incidentally, it also signaled the beginning of my passion for sports. My journey began when I was a kid, and I have my family to thank for that. We went on long bike rides each weekend that took me to swimming practice 4 times a week. Sometimes I did ballet, volleyball, and track, and the list goes on. And although I think their motivation to sign me up to every single sport they could think of was due to my inexhaustible energy at the time, I also think that they comprehended sports' impact and the difference it would mean in the long run. But what's the secret sauce behind this transformation? Here are what I call the formulas of the transformative playbook. First up, mental fortitude. Sports are like a high-stakes game of chess where strategy, focus, and quick thinking will make a difference between victory and defeat. But what goes on beyond the field matters even more. Sports have a way of testing your limits and challenging your ability to stick to your goals. Earlier this year, I was struggling to keep up with both my academics and sports, changing from summer vacation, when I had all the time in the world to exercise, to a demanding 9th grade class meant I proudly gave up on my approach. But the idea of setting realistic goals is for them to adapt to these fluctuating circumstances. It is hard for us to follow strict plans. They develop around unrealistic conditions rather than actual ones. And this is why I encourage you to set SMART goals. Thanks to George Doran, you can now break your journey into manageable steps. And this is how, instead of continuing with a vague objective like doing a lot of sports and staying in shape, I was able to prioritize a specific target. In my case, initially, swimming a 5K in 4 months. And that's the interesting part of it all. Your journey can be completely adaptable. It can be completely unique to your own necessities and your desires. In the end, remember, it's all about profiting from the journey rather than idealizing the fulfillment of a single goal. Moreover, once you set this initial target, you can break this long-term process into short-term steps. In my case, let's take it as an example, I was able to swim 4 times a week for 40 minutes. This made progress feel more attainable while keeping motivation high. This will make you keep on moving forward while readjusting so that you can promote mental fortitude. Facing these challenges thereby leads to developing emotional resilience. In the sports roller coaster ride, there are the highs of triumph and lows of defeat. I myself suffered from similar setbacks that impeded my process from advancing. My knee pain began when I was 10 years old, and it was long before we realized that it was due to a genetic malformation that doctors hadn't noticed before. So in July 2021, I had double knee surgery. And I will not lie, I did not face change gracefully. And although I was extremely disciplined with my therapies and everything else I had to do to recover, I was upset all the time. I was rageful. I even envied my friends during PE as I watched them have fun, while I still struggled with new injuries that refused to heal after my surgery. And I wondered, why would that happen to someone like me, who thinks of sport as something vital and transformative? Well, eventually I did give up on sports. I stopped exercising as helplessness took over me. In this situation, although utterly unenthusiastic, helped me prove to myself that I was able of accomplishing what I set my mind to do. It showcased the mindset that I had earned through years of sport, despite all, a persevering attitude. According to research on stress and coping mechanisms by Lazarus and Folkman in 1984, sports players frequently acquire coping techniques that help them deal with failure and different obstacles. These tactics might be approaching the circumstance with acceptance, problem-solving, positive reframing, and social support seeking, as I tried to do during my journey. Emphasis on tried. I acknowledge my journey severity and the necessary recovery progress. despite being in denial for about 3 months or maybe even more. So I created this structured program to recover that included seeking medical advice, identifying steps to regain fitness, and setting realistic goals. Also seeking my family and friends for emotional and practical support that also helped me bond with other people that suffered from similar setbacks. This situation made me realize that it's not just about avoiding failure entirely, it's about embracing it as a launching pad on the path to greatness. Challenges may come in diverse forms, such as having too much homework to go to the gym. But no matter how big or small they seem, they will always be as relevant and valuable to you. So when you feel discouraged due to a setback, ask yourself the following questions. What went wrong? What can I learn from this experience? And how can my approach be modified moving forward? And most importantly, remember that it's not that overcoming setbacks is just a part of the journey. Most obstacles are inevitable, but they are temporary. They should not jeopardize your achievements in the long run. Moreover, I think it's clear by now that facing these obstacles wasn't easy for me. In fact, I couldn't have done it without some support. My family and friends made up a fantastic support network. They were my unfailing cheerleaders. I remember late night FaceTime calls with my best friends that kept me motivated, and early morning swim sessions with my dad, as I tried to teach him proper technique. Yeah, I tried. And even my physiotherapist, who kept me motivated and distracted me from every pain that I was feeling with her hilarious gossip. You may not be facing an injury, but surrounding yourself with people that will accompany you throughout is vital for success. So make sure you can count on someone that will not let you fall off track. Sports also have a magical way of breaking down barriers and bringing people together. Through sports, we learn the value of teamwork, cooperation, and communication, whether it is cheering for a favorite team at a stadium or bonding with teammates over a match's outcome. Sports do promote social connectivity. And this is exactly how the social activist, the African activist, Nelson Mandela, who fought against racial discrimination in pursuit of a democratic nation, advocated for sports' impact and its relevance to unite and reconcile a nation. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. During the 2000 World Sports Leaders Award Gala Dinner in Monaco, Nelson Mandela delivered one of the most impactful speeches in the sports realm. By engaging and encouraging this transformative process through exercise, I not only changed my physique, but also nurtured qualities of resilience, perseverance, and discipline. And like Mandela's belief in sports as a catalyst for social change, my own experience highlights how sports not only mold individuals, but communities as a whole. Sports are not only an index of personal achievement, but a tool to address ethnic and political conflicts in pursuit of acceptance of human complexity. In an increasingly globalized world, sports allow individuals from many different backgrounds to come together in harmony to foster peace and cooperation. And lastly, the physical metamorphosis. After my surgery, I lost the shape I had before. But despite not doing sports for a long time, 1 year, maybe more, it wasn't long before muscle memory kicked in. And I'm sure you've heard the phrase, no pain, no gain, but let's change it up a bit. No gain, no gain. Although the first runs and swims were tough, as I persisted, I noticed significant changes. My legs became stronger and more toned, and my back and arms did too. My endurance improved dramatically. I went from running a 1K, feeling winded all throughout, to running a consistent 8K with shortened recovery times. Although not as noticeable, my cardiovascular health also got a boost. With each step I took, my heart grew steadier. And I know most of you will only remember the part about an enhanced physique. But it's not just about looking good in a jersey. It's about fostering discipline, perseverance, and a never-give-up attitude that transcends the playing field and penetrates every single facet of life. I know it sounds extremely cheesy, but believe me, it's true. Through sports, we learn the value of teamwork, we learn the value of everything, and athletes actually represent this transformation. But they're just not physical specimens. They're cultural icons. They're role models who wield immense power over millions of fans worldwide. Whether it's LeBron James, think about how he has empowered future generations through educational initiatives, or Serena Williams, who has defied common perceptions of women's fragility. Athletes have the power to inspire, to motivate, and effect positive change on a global scale. Also, in 1974, the Battle of Sexes, when Billie Jean King's victory over Bobby Riggs meant a symbol towards facing gender equality. Or in 1936, when Jesse Owens' 4 Olympic gold medals became an allegorical blow against racism. It is through them and the impact that they have had that we learn the value of sports. That millions of men and women worldwide are now inspired by these athletes who have left it all in the field, the pitch, the track, and in life. But it is not only through inspirations, athletes are also economic powerhouses to drive billions of dollars in revenue through merchandise sales and sponsorships. From Nike to Gatorade, brands clamor to align with the star power of athletes, turning them into walking billboards from everything from sports drinks to sneakers. Sports surround you, but have you ever considered their actual reach? And I know I've said everything is picture perfect, but becoming this exemplary individual through sports is a lot harder than it seems. And this is exactly why the World Player Association says that there are only 85,000 millions of athletes worldwide, 85,000 athletes worldwide, identifying less than 1% of the total population. So I'm sure many of you have a that pull, that allure of becoming exceptional, even if it isn't through sports. And although these previous indices sound discouraging, this process isn't reserved for the select few, especially because the remaining 99% of people who are not professional athletes are not only impeded by their personal desires and aspirations, but by their inability to engage in the sports realm. There are many ways you can cooperate, and sports don't only teach us to play and persevere, but to pay it forward in any way possible. Be it time or money, you're investing in dreams, you're fostering resilience, and you're inspiring new generations to overcome their circumstances in order to thrive. You may aid in small running events that may raise money for huge nonprofit foundations, but corporations are endless. By doing this, you're taking the first step so that others can thrive. You're taking the first step so that others can persist in school, can acquire new job opportunities, can take on a healthy lifestyle, and earn these new life skills that will eventually break that cycle of poverty. And by now we've established that you can engage in any way possible. You can experience this transformation firsthand through yourself, or you can engage from the sidelines, supporting the cause from a distance so that others can reap the benefits of this experience. But no matter how you engage, remember that your impact is just as important. But if you were to take one single thing from all of this, it would be that, remember that sports are not only about winning trophies and breaking records. They're about transforming lives, shaping communities, and transmitting power in ways both profound and far-reaching. So whether you're lacing up your sneakers for your next game or watching a football match from home, remember that the power of sports isn't just a game, but a game changer. Thank you.